Welcome back to Giro3 YouTube channel. In today's video I am building up two separate controllers. They're basically going to be identical. They're basically all the same thing. One is an Alinco EMR-400. This is the front panel. I've basically done this in two sections. One is totally disassembled, and I've got the other one which is partly assembled. So the other one is a Fukner FU-400, and I'll explain a bit more about these in a minute. So basically I have done quite a few mods to these and upgrades. So the chassis, I have replaced the power switch with a much better switch and shorter. Because since I'm replacing the transformer, I needed something a bit shorter internally, and so this is a new switch I've got locally. Really nice little mini toggle, large outside, and large lever, I should say. I am also installing a IEC socket instead of the old cable hanging out the back. I don't really like cables hanging out the back of controllers. In doing so, I've actually this has been folded here and folded up. This always used to be a bit of a weak point in these, so these have actually been brazed up in the corners here, and I've actually undercoated and painted everything. And as you see, I've got a black front and back just to give it a bit of reflection. So I've also pulled out the original screw tunnel block. Don't like those. And I'm replacing it with one of my cinch sockets and cover plates, so that will go into here like this. It's got screws on there, so the screws already on there, so I'll show you that other one. So these just to show you a bit of what I'm going to be doing. I'm replacing the main PCB with one of my new PCBs, which has a 12 volt output to run the LEDs for the display. And I have to extend up the feed point to the meter. That just mounts on. There's your meter, and this just mounts on to mount it up nice and high and out of the road. So the transformer is made locally. It's a bit overkill, but it's 100 volt because I am converting both of these and their rotators to 100 volts. To put limit switches and motor start capacitors in the rotator. I have done it before with the 24 volt versions, but the motor start capacitor is really tight, so with 100 volt with a pillow capacitor, it's a lot better. So I've got these transformers made, 240 volts, 12 and 100 volts out, and I have put on tunnel blocks onto here to make installation a lot easier. So both of them are the same. So when I've assembled, this one's already the assembled one, so basically showing you the new little switch in here. Direction switches are in. I've got the IEC socket in, and I've got the cinch socket in. I've got the display adjustment in. So this is all done. Stops flaring out. So there we are. That's all in there. On the Alinco one, turn that back around again. The actual direction switch. Where is it? There's the direction switch for the Alinco. It's just a black direction switch, and this sort of activates these little micro switches. That just pushes on those. Well, this one's been snapped off, literally bang, right off. So I've gone about making up a brand new one in stainless steel, so that ain't going to break. Probably break everything else instead. A little loop at the back here in stainless steel again, stainless steel screw, and basically it just it does exactly the same job. But if you look under here, I've actually installed micro switches with little arms on it, and I've bent the ends. Might be able to see it from this side, maybe. I've bent the ends back in, so when this goes in, like this, and locks down, we have direction switch. I'm just going to take it out for now so we don't stress it out, the rest of it. That will probably break the rest of this, so we won't do that. So, in this is the Fukner. So basically there's the PCB is already mounted on this one. The LED illumination is already installed. It's already wired in, ready to go. So you know, I had to do a little bit of finagling on this here to hold the meter in. So basically this one's in pretty good condition. They normally have a black backing display, but I like those, and I put them in other controllers. So I swapped the panel meters out. Now, as you saw in this one here, the limits, the LEDs are in. So yeah, but this casing was in, the front panel was in really good condition, as in the label, which I didn't want to scratch just here. But it was it was a really yucky orangey colour from it just gone off. So I've got this new plastic undercoat paint that I use, and it's a prep and undercoat for plastics, and it seems to work quite well. And so I cleaned it up and sprayed this clear undercoat on, and then I painted it in this charcoal colour. So yeah, I need to find out. I had some actually lighter colour one, but oh well, it is what it is. So that is all done. The casings are cleaned up. You know, I've got my fingerprints all over it again now. They're in pretty good condition, even though they've got scratches on them here and there. But I've also cut out the back of these for the IEC socket, so when this one gets around the right way, and these slide into here, they'll match up in there, and you can still get to the fuse holder in here, and this all gets in there really, and everything just matches up really nicely, and the two screws on the back here to hold all in place. So that's that one, and you can see internally, you can see straight through. I had to do a little bit of with the screws on for the plate. I had to do a bit of filing out on those. And this one here is the same deal. This one was in slightly worse condition, a few more scratches on it. Being gloss, it shows the scratches up really well, but you probably don't see it probably there we are. But that is what it is. I can't do much about that. So there we are. I'm up to that stage. So I'm going to continue on assembling this one, and I'll separate these out, and I'll get this one up to this stage. I sort of started doing this before I went, oh, I better videotape this. So basically I'll get the Alinco up to this stage, and wiring and everything else, get everything installed, and then I'll move forward and show you the rest of it going back together again, and I will then be getting on to the two rotators and the upgrades I'll be doing to those. So this is just part one of a couple. I might just do the controllers separately and do the rotators separately, I think, and then do a combined one, I think. But not a problem. Well, I'll leave it with you over now, and we shall be back shortly. Yeah, part two, I presume. Bye. Okay, just a quick update. Okay, I've just now assembled all the limit switches, the power switch, and the cinch socket. I probably forgot to mention this cover plate is a stainless steel one, which has been laser cut for me by a local firm. So basically that's stainless steel. So there you go. So it actually looks pretty good. So the IEC socket's in. Oh, got a bit crap here. So that's all in there. So I just thought I'd quickly show you that before I start wiring it. So there we go. I'll be back shortly. Hey, we're back. Righto. I have now basically finished the main part of the wiring. There's a bit more wiring to be done on the only 3 wires on the power wire onto the PCB, but the basic wiring before I can get the transformers in. I have to do all this first before I can do the transformers, so I can make it easier for me to assemble. So there we go. Next stage, transformers. Catch up. Oh. Okay, we're back. Just a quick one. There we are. I have got all the wiring done, transformers in on this one, and I've even got the direction switches in on both of these. There we go. Now I'm going to get the front panels on and finish the wiring off, and I will be back. Rightio, they are all done. There we go. All assembled. Wiring's all done. And slide him into there. There's our back view. I've got to add the 2 screws in the back here that hold it all together. There's that one. And we might as well put this one together as well. As you can see, this is done as well. So assemble this one. There we go. Rightio. We can now move on to the rotators. Catch in that episode.